usually helps when you are you put yourself into the hopper there. Welcome everybody. It is the YSN Power Hour brought to you by our friends over at Toyota of Warren. Great thanks to them, and I'm going to move this over here so that way all of our sponsors can be seen. Grateful for all of you to be watching here today after a 2-week hiatus. You can call it vacation, you can call it whatever you want. Just needed the 2 weeks to spend some time with the family, kind of get a little bit rejuvenated and excited, and get ready because, ladies and gentlemen, we are not only in July, we're almost a week into July at this point, which means that the one day, literally, and we'll get to kind of the last 2 weeks that have been in the sports world because there has been a lot that has occurred. And we're going to talk about it here as much as we possibly can because I don't know about you. And if you're in the adult world at this point or have just made the shift from maybe high school into the real world, so to speak, there is this level of, I don't know if it's just blackout. Like when you go on vacation, right? There's a level of senioritis that you go through. Remember how when you were a senior and nothing else mattered, you just kind of shut it down. It's I get like that, and I try not to. I get like that when I go on quote unquote vacation because the 2 weeks of quote unquote vacation that I had on this show did not translate into the real world. And I think you all at some point have gone through that where it's a vacation, but from work, but it's not a vacation from home. It's not a vacation. It's really just you doing work that you otherwise couldn't get to because something else was in the way. What I love about this show is to be able to bring topics and conversation into your lives every single day. And what's crazy is I can't remember. There's a blurred reality between the day that I stopped and the day that I came back, which is today, right? So much has happened. You talk about the Penn Ohio football game. You talk about the YSN All-Star games, both baseball and softball. Little League softball in District 2 is coming to a conclusion tonight, maybe. And if not, definitely tomorrow night. Little League baseball in District 2 is starting today, which we'll have coverage of as well. And just a multitude of things have been going on. You got fast pitch going on, tournaments going on, all this stuff coming out. And just at this point in the year, people look at us and they go, man, you're busy. Yeah, we are. Because schools have been closed for the better part, I'd say better part of 2 months at this point, right? Better part of at least a month and a half, give or take, right? We literally just turned the page from high school spring sports on June 28th. So June 28th was our last day of high school sports. That, of course, being the YSN All-Star game for softball. Tear that page out of the book. And now we got that Friday. That happened on a Wednesday. Then, see, I told you, it's absolute blurred lines. That happened on a Wednesday. On a Thursday, we were supposed to have a day off. We ended up doing a game or a few games, obviously. YSN always on. And then on Friday, that was it. We turned the page. It was June 30th. June 30th was like a day off because I believe we got rain. So we got a day off. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you turn that calendar over to July 1st. It's football season. It's football season. It's back. The monster has returned. The monster that goes for literally 6 months. July through December, especially given 2 state champions and a state runner-up. You're looking at it's a monster of 6 months of a season. And people talk about baseball and softball. Well, that goes on for 6 months. Yes, it does. two different seasons really inside of it, because you've got high school season and travel season, summer season. Football is just summer, or I'm sorry, it's just really July 1st to December 31st, really. Last year the championship was on December 2nd. We didn't stop celebrating till in February. So you look at that and you go, a true season for football is the better part of 6.5, 7 months, depending on the level of success that you have. So we get that page turned. We are now full scale in football season. We've been pushing out that we're looking for announcers. We've got great response. We're looking for even more. So if you're out there and you think that you can do what we do, and we think you can too, please message us, info at ysnlive.com, or you can message us on our social media pages, our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I know we got a TikTok out there as well. Or you can just message us directly. It's absolutely crazy that we're getting ready for, of course. And he's probably laughing right now because he knows where my heart is. He knows the anxiety is through the roof. My good friend and 440 Sports Show host, Mr. Sam Torres, saying, "Thank God it's football, my favorite grind." I don't want people to think I don't love football. I do love football. But it's like, I compare the love I have for football with knowing you're going up against like this monster. In the monster, as much of a beating and as many punches you can throw at this opponent, it's just never phased. I mean, you can chop it up, you can slice it up, you can do whatever you need to do, game plan, everything going in, and you know that you are going to come out the other side taking a beating. Now, we've had very successful summer seasons leading into extremely successful football seasons. It's Rocky versus Drago. It is. Like, we know we're going to win. At the end of the day, we know we're going to win. We've done this enough times. We have enough talent, enough go-getters, enough grinders, enough brain power to accomplish what we need to do at YSN to make it a successful football, volleyball, let's just say soccer, fall season. But you know that the heaviest weight falls on football. It is exhausting. And it's only one night a week, most weeks. Football, and hear me out here, because if you know a football coach, if you are a coach's wife, if you are someone who's experienced this, you understand, at least get the gist of what we're trying to say. I'm not ready mentally to make that change over into football and fall seasons yet. Not yet. But in talking to athletic directors and talking to coaches, they are there. And they don't always want to be there yet. Believe it or not, they do like spending time with their families. Believe it or not, they do like having a beat to get their mental well-being back in order. Some coaches I know are just chomping at the bit. Some announcers, Sam Torres, chomping at the bit. However, DJ Yokley, not there yet. Not there. Not even close. We're preparing. We're ready. I know Chris Sigler in the background is ready. Quinn Pushkar getting ready. Steve Leslie getting ready. All of our announcers are getting ready. Got some new faces and new places that we're excited to get out to you. But man alive, July 1st came. And usually it's like a dovetail, like right into the next season. And it's a finesse. This was a brick wall. Guess what? Fall season's here. July 1st is here. It's incredible, guys and gals. It really is incredible. And so much internally, externally has happened over the last 2 weeks. I've been wanting to just take a show and pop on, you know? Um, but there's been so much, and we want to make sure we capsulize it and really give, as my art teacher my senior year, really give it a full 42 minutes. Really? That art period, a full 42 minutes. Don't worry about when the bell's gonna ring. Don't worry about it. You know, all you clock watchers up there that are constantly in class or at work, and you're waiting for the clock to strike 5 o'clock so you can bounce. Give the season a full season of attention. And that's what we're trying to do. We don't want to shortchange summer ball because I'll be quite honest with you. And I think I've said this a time or two before. And if you know me, you know I love this time of year for baseball and softball. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love state championships. I love all that stuff. I love what we have in high school. I do. I adore it. Baseball, my first love. Diamond sports, my first love. But there's something about Little League. There's something about the 50-70, the ponies, whatever you want to call it. There's something about Little League that's so cool, that is so precious, that window is so short. Like you talk about the high school, you got 4 years of that high school window from the time you're a freshman to the time through you're a senior. That Little League in the developmental stage is that window's just so short, and it's open for such a very, very short time. I love it because the excitement is always there. Winning and losing, the kids are cheering. They're cheering their teammates. They're cheering their teams. They're cheering their communities. There's something pure about that. It's sports to me in its most pure form. And in a world that continues to get peppered and salted and, just marinated by the stuff that's going on outside, Little League is one of the true and I think best forms of sports, because the pure joy that comes from those kids when something happens. And this is going to sound grotesque, but the same thing with when it doesn't go their way. There's a picture that we have here at HQ that I will have forever. It happened one of our first years in existence. It was a walk-off grand slam. It was a 0-0 game. It's a walk-off grand slam. And you can see the jubilation on the face of the team that hit the grand slam and the devastation, the frustration of the team that gave it up. To me, that's sports. And to understand that on the other side of that, right, on the other side of that game is a team that had to learn how to deal with that victory. And on the flip side of that coin, the team that had to deal with the defeat. Do you stay too high? Do you go too low? Do you try to even things out? That's why I love Little League. And I'm not just talking about baseball. I'm talking about softball, because I've been very blessed to be able to see and watch and call some of these games over the last 2.5 weeks or so, that, when these parents get excited because their little girl is on, YSN, or they're really excited because X or Y or Z. It's such a great feeling to know that that's the future. That's the incredible future that we have in our valley. And it starts at the 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U. That's where it starts, and that's where it ends. And what you take from that, what the parents take from that, what the kids take from that, the umpires, what everybody takes from that lasts them, I hope, the rest of their playing careers, or the rest of their careers as a fan or as an umpire or as an official, because the umpires are not getting paid. The coaches are not being paid. And certainly the kids aren't being paid. We live in a society right now that everybody wants instant gratification. And a lot of people think that gratification is what pays the bills, when the feelings you get, the emotional roller coaster that you ride in sports, that's the payoff. You learn how to deal with things on a level that some other can only imagine of how to deal with. The excitement level's there. And in the last 2 weeks, while it's been very hard not to pop on here and talk about what has been going on, it's been worth it, because it's just been marinating like a really good steak dinner, right? Like a really good dish that you love, but it takes time. It takes that love. That's what it's been the last 2 weeks for me. Like, I've been so excited to bring information and entertainment to you right here on this show. But sometimes you just got to wait. And the best things in life are worth waiting for. And that's something that we still have to be able to wrap our arms around, right? It's a tangible thing, is the love that we have for sports. More things that we have to talk about. We're going to take a break. This is going to be an abbreviated show because, like I just said, we got things to do here tonight, folks. We have some games to take place at the Field of Dreams, as well as at Ysn Park. I'm going to get you the rundown here right now. We have at 6 p.m., Noah Doty is going to have you covered on the baseball side of things with the 12Us. Boardman and South Range going to be battling in the opening round of the districts. Also, Canfield and Austintown. That'll be happening at 8 o'clock. I will have your coverage at 5 p.m. for Austintown and Howland. That's 12U coverage. That's on S1. Anthony and Tony will be, I think, making his debut tonight as well. They will have at 6 p.m. the Canfield versus Austintown 10Us. And that they will also have at 8 p.m., they will have the Boardman versus Austintown or Howland. I think it's Austintown, if I'm not mistaken, on S2 as well. And I will also be bringing you the 10Us as far as it's concerned with South Range and Boardman. So a lot of action in the districts, but also Class B tonight. Joe Eusebio going to have you on Scene 3 at 5:30. We'll also have a 5:45 start with Matt Mayer. And another 5:45 start on Scene 1 with Tim Corso. And we have 3 more to add on the 8 p.m. hour as well. So a lot of baseball, a lot of diamond sports going on tonight. Excited for that. And, of course, the only place that you can get it right here on YSN. We're going to take a break. We come back, still a lot to talk about in regards to, what's been happening, the All-Star games. I want to talk about that because that was some magic that I can only begin to explain, and I'll try to do that right after the break, right here on your Sports Network. Be right back.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we offer a worry-free experience for all our customers. From sales to financing and even service, we'll help build your perfect vehicle
and lock in your trade value
while your vehicle is being built.
No worries.
We guarantee financing,
regardless of your situation or credit history.
No worries. And when your vehicle needs service,
our award-winning team will get you back on the road.
No worries.
That's what going the extra mile means. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com
or find us on Facebook.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa.
And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing.
Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships.
We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team.
Your goals, our game plan.
Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Yoakley with you here on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by our friends at Toyota of Warren. Special thanks to Tino and all the folks out there. Hope you all had a great 4th of July, Independence Day, a holiday that is very, very close and near and dear to my heart. Love this country. I love this country a lot. And if those of you who understand and have been part of my life understand that we built this company based on the red, the white, and the blue of the men and women that have served the great country that we live in, the American ingenuity that comes with being an American citizen and being an American entrepreneur. And again, we sent out I thought a really nice letter to all of our clients, all of our corporate supporters, and of course all of you, and thanking you, because to me this is one of the biggest holidays. You know, you're not expecting any presents. You're not there's nobody that is you know, coming down the chimney. It's there's no bunny hopping around and planting Easter eggs. This is all about loving your family, loving the people around you, and loving your great country. And I was very, very excited, as I'll get to at the end of the show here today. One of my friends, my dear friends that I've loved for a very, very long time, over a decade now, we've been connected. He got to accomplish one of his dreams last night in front of a capacity crowd. And we'll talk a little bit more on that in just a little bit. But speaking of capacity crowds, what I want to explain to you is one of my favorite nights of the year is when we do our All-Star games. And it's not because it's bringing in, you know, the best of the best or some of the best of the best and putting them in one, you know, location. What it means to me is the belief of parents, fans, spectators, communities, players, student athletes, and our team at YSN all coming together for a cause that means a lot, not only to them, but a lot to everybody. And we can shine a light in the only way that we can do at YSN. And it's in a big way. And one that is very, again, near and dear to my heart is the Fellowship for Christian Athletes. And I'm a strong advocate. I never had FCA whenever I was in high school, or at least that I knew about. I fell into it kind of in college when I met my wife. And you know, what I can tell you is I've been a believer for my whole life. And I've funny enough is we actually have a visitor here that's sitting out in the lobby that just kind of dropped in. I can't wait to talk to him. That has brought me closer to God. And I have learned quickly that the more success and the more people that you have with you, the more resistance that is going to be brought in your direction, because that's just how it works in life. And life is all about the 80 and the 20. I like to think that it's a little bit more 95 and 5 in this situation, but there's a hunger out there for God to be in the schools, and the FCA has done a remarkable job of not pushing themselves on anybody, but being there when people need it the most, and letting people get closer to God through their own, you know, triumphs and tragedies, and being there to be a hug, to be the hand to hold, and bring you closer to ultimately what I think could be, you know, a life-changing situation for many. And what I can tell you is sports brought me closer to God. In the quick story is that I always thought that when you go to church, I was raised in a you know, Lutheran church, and, you know, always raised that to know God is, you know, everything. And it's why you do things, is why you're here. And Jesus is the Lord and Savior, all of that. Right. but it was always planning for, like, what do you do when you go to heaven? And when I got married and we had to decide to go to a church, I instantly hit it off with the man who is still the pastor of my church. And he was a journalist, and he got it, and he spoke to me. I'll never forget the first time we sat down, spoke to me about my thoughts, my dreams, my aspirations, why God is so important in my life. And quickly, I think he realized that the best way to get me into the church was to get me onto the softball field, and made that correlation, made that connection, and has never gone away. In fact, he's one of the closest people in my life. And when I'm going through things, good, bad, or indifferent, he's always somehow there. And I think that's why he's here today, and probably smiling right now as I am. But if it wasn't for this gentleman bringing me closer to God, I would never have the opportunity to open my arms and open the company to Christianity and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So with your help for the All-Star Games, we were able to raise almost $2,500 for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And I think what's important in that is that we did it from a very strategic standpoint, where this 25 days that we have just encountered, during that 25 days, they were challenged. If they raise $25,000, it will be matched. And I'm pretty sure if we didn't get it, we're awful doggone close. And whatever it takes to get there, I will make sure that we get there to make sure that $25,000 is matched for another $25,000, giving them a total of $50,000 so they can help impact students in your schools, in your communities. And that way you have what I think is more holistic, more wholesome, and more passionate people that are being able to be leaders at the next level. And what happens on the field was awesome. Our All-Star games, I got to admit, they were awesome. You know, the baseball game was a one-run game, and the last play was made at the plate. In the softball game, I've never seen so many smiles. In all my years in sports, I've never seen so many smiles in young ladies that just love the game, love playing the game with each other, love sharing the concept of the game. And when we addressed why we're giving money and raising funds for FCA during the softball game, there were a number of fans that just stood up and clapped. And why I appreciate it, and I'm grateful for it. It wasn't for me. It was for FCA. And that's what I love about it. Bob Kimple and his team out there are doing, quite honestly, God's work, and they're doing a great job. And just to be able to be kind of a platform for them to be able, and much more to come, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going out to athletics in about a week. And starting Tuesday nights, a few weeks ago, they've been doing summer huddles, and we're going to make sure that we can help them raise awareness and of course, get the word out there, because that's important. They were actually the first interview that we had on YSN, Bob Kimple. And he blessed us and prayed for us when we started. And it's been going very, very, very okay. And if I tell everybody I know that if that wasn't a part, if God wasn't a part of YSN, we would have been done a long time ago, because he's been able to open doors and open windows that I couldn't have done on my own. So yeah, it's the All-Star games were a blast. If you made it out and you made a difference, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. To me, it's the best All-Star game of any of them around, because they're the most players out of anybody around. There was 60 some schools represented in our All-Star games this year, which that's a lot of jerseys. And you saw the pictures, I'm sure. It's really cool to see. And you see them from every division. And usually during football season, during basketball season, you hear the competitiveness of, well, they're D2 and we're D7. We'll never play. That's not true. We're changing that narrative, and we're doing it in order so you can see what these players look like against each other. Not necessarily who's the best, but what would happen? It's the Rocky Balboa and the movie, right? That's what would happen if Rocky Balboa took on Mason the Lion Dixon. What would happen? We're trying to make it happen. So Grateful for that. Again, this is a very short show today, coming back because we have district games here tonight, and mine starts at 5 o'clock, so I got to be doing the Charlie hustle out there. But we would be remiss if we didn't catch up on the comments here. Sam chiming in and says, the skill gains and love for the game happens right in front of you in such a short time with Little League. It's awesome. He's not lying. And of course, the great, the GOAT, he's building his own goat farm out there in Austintown. ACB Little League representing tonight. Yes, they are. Mark, as always, thank you. I saw the Savannah Bananas were in town. Mark and the lovely Roth family were part of that. I hope you guys got to go out and check it out. If you didn't, make sure that you attend to Savannah Bananas anytime they're close here. You need to go check it out because it's a different kind of entertainment, different kind of baseball, and one it's fun for the whole family. So make sure you check that out. We're going to get to the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Thank you to Eric Carlson and his team for continually supporting us here at YSN. The Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, presented by our friends at Joe Dickey Electric. Anything commercial, residential, electrical. Make sure that you head on over to DickeyElectric.com. Tell them YSN sent you. All right, I alluded to it a little bit earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Dreams come true, and they're not often overnight, and they're not often without a little bit of a battle, a little bit of a fight, and a little bit of a struggle. But that's what makes it so sweet when you finally get it. My friend Steve Tiggleman has been a dear friend of mine for many, many years. And, there's been all kinds of roller coaster rides that he's gone with in his profession, in his personal life, in his spiritual life, all of that. Steve, we really hit it off a little over 10 years ago. And he said, hey, I really like what you're doing. I know that you're busting your tail in the weight room. I want you to help me. And through working out together, we got to have a bond unlike any that I really have with anybody else. And we're always straightforward with each other, no matter how tough it is. We're always very supportive of each other, no matter what we're going through, no matter how long it's been since we've chatted. And what I loved the most was 10 years ago, Steve came to me with a dream, and it wasn't necessarily that he wanted to be a rock star or he confided in me that his dream as, at the time, a fireman, a husband, a father, and the area pyrotechnician, and the guy that basically controls the fireworks in East Palestine. He came to me and said, my dream, my ambition is to one day look out from atop that hill and see East Palestine, just people as far as the eye can see, filling the park and putting on the greatest fireworks show in the area. And ladies and gentlemen, July 4th, 2023, 10 years after he said he wanted to do it, this man accomplished his dream last night in front of thousands in East Palestine. And if you know, and I'm sure you do since you watch this show, what East Palestine's been through in the last 6 months, you understand how vital it was, and the timing couldn't have been scripted any better. Steve was atop that hill with his brothers that are part of the East Palestine Fire Department that put on this show, put weeks and months into planning this show for the village of East Palestine. Again, that has been through so much, something to celebrate. And there was no greater celebration than the one last night. And I could see the fireworks. I could feel the booms from my house that was a mile away from the park. People could feel the impact of what was happening in our park for miles around. And they came from miles and miles and miles away, not knowing that they were accomplishing one man's dream of entertaining them. And I love it more than anything when I see people's dreams, no matter what age, come to fruition. and the dreams are realized. And it's nothing that isn't through hard work and dedication. We love it. Congratulations, Steve. That's going to do it for our show. I'll be right back tomorrow right here on the YSN Power Hour. God bless you, and we'll see you next time right here on your Sports Network. YSN thanks you for watching.